Over time, we have evolved into a civilized society that has become governed by laws and morality. And throughout history, we have learned that when an individual violates these laws, there are consequences, and that those consequences must fit the crime. When individuals believe that society is unwilling to impose upon criminals the punishment they deserve, then they have sown the seeds of anarchy and chaos, which results in individuals seeking justice by other means. When an individual murders another individual, society must stand up and denounce this act. And if that act is so heinous that it warrants that individual warrants death, then that individual chose their fate by his or her actions. The death penalty is not about an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth. It's about protecting and safeguarding innocent victims, men, women, children, and the elderly, from predators within society who do not have the same moral compass as the rest of us do. Is it too much to ask that these violent predators forfeit their life when they didn't give their victims a choice? I say no. It's not until these predators are faced with death they fear death itself, a choice their innocent victims did not have. My members and I, along with 2/3 of the American public, are in favor of the death penalty. Death penalty opponents argue 2 points: the economics and the deterrent factor. As a deterrent, the death penalty does work. Several recent studies from Emory University, the University of Colorado, the University of Houston, and Clemson University shows that it does. Economic professor Macon from the University of Colorado, who is opposed to the death penalty, as mentioned before, stated that his research does show that each execution results in 5 fewer murders. And commuting a death sentence means 5 more homicides. A nationwide study done by professors at Emory University concluded that each execution deters an average of 18 murders. The economics of the death penalty. Opponents say it's cheaper to give these most violent and sadistic predators life in prison. They also talk about the trial and the extensive appeals process and how costly they both are when making such a claim. But it's these very individuals that make a profit from the system itself. They say the appeals process is too lengthy and costly. Then let's streamline it. Let's make it a workable death penalty. It's these very same individuals that cause these delays by appealing every little court decision, costing taxpayers money, and delaying justice for the victims' families. There is a cost to seeking justice, and to say that the cost is too expensive in a capital felony murder case is absolutely absurd. There is no threat of a swift or speedy trial these days. It's just delays upon delays. The process has to be streamlined, and by speeding up the process, it would strengthen the deterrent effect of the death penalty. The longer an individual sits on death row, the less effect it has as a deterrent. According to a 2004 study done by a professor from Emory University, for every 2 3/4 years cut from the time spent on death row, 1 murder would be prevented. That's 1 innocent victim's life which would be spared. That innocent victim could be a member of your family or a friend of yours. And instead of celebrating holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, and graduations, and other special occasions with them, you could be making these special occasions visits by placing a flower at a somber graveside remembrance. Life in prison is not a deterrent. The death penalty is. I'd just like to conclude by taking a quote from the Greek philosopher Aristotle. We become just by performing just actions, temperate by performing temperate actions, brave by performing brave actions. And what is more just and brave than advocating for the innocent victims that did not have a choice?